Hello. Hi, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well on this great Thursday. If you did not know and you have not checked it, I'm going to get Sunny pretty upset with me, but it is Sunny's birthday today. So if any of you are friends with her on Facebook or just want to send her a message, it is Sunny's birthday, so wish her a happy birthday today. Um, she's going to be super upset with me by announcing that. But, anyways, it is. So, I hope everyone's doing well today. We have some things to talk about. We have some great products and a couple of things I want to mention. I know that people have been dealing with a lot of stuff during this lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, and it has been tough for a lot of people. Um, and some of you may have attended the rally that we did, our Sunrider rally. So we're gonna be talking about some of the things that I talked on that rally, and the reason is that I definitely have a strong feeling about being positive and making sure that you are positive and having positive things around you. So let me share my screen here. I'm gonna share a couple things. All right, here we are. Nice. Okay. All right. One of the things that I think is really important during this time, as what they see is incidences of depression, of substance abuse. Um, it has been going up a lot because of anxiety. Even if you feel like you're dealing with the anxiety well, the environment around you has a lot of heightened anxiety. It is super important today to try and maintain as much mental health as there is physical health. So, this is something that I have a strong belief in. Um, I think during the rally, I did like a really simple meditation. So for those of you who don't know, I have a background in hypnosis as well. Um, it's something that I've been very fascinated in. I majored in psychology when I was an undergrad for a few couple of years, and then I changed to neuroscience because I'm so fascinated with how the brain works. This has obviously led into my field of rehabilitation medicine because we deal a lot with how the brain works and how the brain helps to heal the body. So I know that there are a number of IBOs, customers on this call who also believe strongly in the power of the mind, and I strongly believe in that. So if you, for me, almost as important as taking my Alpha 20C every day is I do meditation every day. I think it is super important to be able to do some type of meditation where you are alone with your thoughts to help you try and gain some peace from it. I do a number of different activities for that. So I do meditation. I do just literally I sit and do guided meditation for at least half an hour, sometimes longer if I have the time, but usually half an hour is sort of all I get. I also write in my journal, which I think is extremely important. I do it every day. Part of it obviously is, for my posterity, it would be great for them to get to know me, my great grandchildren or something, and have some record of my daily thoughts, which are pretty boring, to be honest. Um, but uh, but at the same time, it helps me to collect my thoughts by being able to write them down and put them in a single place. So I do writing every day, even though I'm a horrible writer. And I also I read a lot. And what I mean is I read business books, I read self-help books. I also read because I am religious. I read a lot of scriptures, Bible, Book of Mormon, um, good spiritual leaders. I listen to those things every day, and I actually have a spiritual journal. So, along with my what I would call my regular journal, I have a spiritual journal where I write down my spiritual thoughts for the day. And whether or not you believe in God, I think it's really important to write down your emotional and your spiritual experiences. I think that's very important. So, these are things that I think are important, especially today, to help maintain a proper mental health. The reason why I'm really going on this is that there's been a lot of research that has shown that good mental health can help your immune system greatly. And I mean, I have personal experience with this, but if you meditate, you keep your mind and your body in shape, it actually helps boost your immune ability and helps you to heal faster from all kinds of things. So if your life is enveloped in stress, which we are not very evolved to do, then it will shorten your life. And they've seen that in multiple places, multiple research studies have shown that high stress leads to a shortened lifespan. There are all kinds of medical issues that come about when you are overstressed. You're more prone to diabetes. You're more prone to heart disease. You're more prone to obesity, and these are all to be. It's so funny, but these are all things that influence getting sick, especially with coronavirus or anything else. It's so interesting that New York City, is the hardest hit of any of the cities in the United States. And there's just such a high level of stress because people are so close to each other. So I do have a strong belief in stress is a very strong thing in having a good mental clarity. Um, I also believe strongly in seeing psychologists, having therapy if you need it. I I had immense stress during medical school, and I had opportunity to talk with therapists and all kinds of people to help me get my mind right during that time because it can be going through depression, and I have personal experience with it. It can be a dark time, and it's hard to pull yourself out of it with sometimes without help. So if you need help, um, if you're struggling, I would very much encourage you to talk with somebody about it, uh, seek help. If you need medical help or professional help, that is very important. So all of that aside, I think these are just very basic tools. Um, you know, should be the same thing on there as along with your if you're into bike riding or doing push-ups or some kind of exercise, you got to exercise your mind and your spirit as much as you can. So, all right, these are the reason why that's so important is that, and I'm going to give you some background on these products that I'm going to talk about. When my parents developed quinary, um, the philosophy of regeneration, um, to balance the body's five systems, that was a very important thing. That was what quinary was based on. When they completed quinary and it was doing well, what they recognized was um, that there, even though quinary does manage to help balance those five systems of the body, it is missing um, some very important systems, including the nervous system and the mind and the brain. So those are three things that are missing from quinary, and that's where this these formulas came from to help balance the mind, to help balance the brain, which I'm separating from the mind, and help balance the nervous system, which is a little bit different. So, so that's what these are the things I'm going to talk about, and it is so important to help keep that part of the body as balanced as possible. Um, you may not be able to see, like physical changes, but you will feel it. And that is almost as important, especially today. If you have friends or family, acquaintances that are struggling, these are great products for them to get started with, um, especially if they're dealing with some emotional stress. So I'm going to actually get back to that. So let's talk about top. So top is so top joint ease are our products to help balance the mind and the brain. Top helps to balance the brain, and what I mean by that is that it can help the brain to think a little bit clearer. It is sort of like quinary for the brain, where it helps to balance and nourish your brain. This is something that should be taken regularly. Uh, and just like vitamins, you have to have vitamins for your brain to help your brain function and operate well. Now, when people take this top, they may not have a lot of feeling about it initially. It is not one of those like you feel it within 10 or 15 minutes, but it is very important. I know a lot of IBOs, when they take top, they notice if they haven't taken it for a while that maybe their mood isn't as good. And so this is very important to help balance your brain. So there's no chemicals, there's no stimulants. It's a very unique concentrated herbal formula to help balance the brain, to help the neurotransmitters in the brain to operate well. So it helps for balancing the brain. Joy is a little bit different, and this is where it goes into balancing the nervous system. So the nervous system, and when I say the nervous system, I'm talking about mainly the nerves in your body and your central nervous system, which does, it's confusing, but it does include your brain. So, but the energy, the signals that are going out of your brain into the rest of your body, this is how joy can help those areas of the body. It can help you lift your mood. It helps you feel better. A lot of people take joy when they are in discomfort, when they feel pain. And one of the reasons is obviously there's some anti-inflammatory effects of it, but it also helps to allow the nervous system to run more efficiently so that you can feel better because the nerves are running more smoothly, so you may experience less pain, but you also probably will experience less low mood. You'll be happier. So this is how joy works in the body. So I'm going to go back real quick. Oh, so top is the brain, and joy are the nerves that go out of the brain and throughout the body, and helps the signals to operate a little bit smoother in the body. It again is obviously just like top, concentrated herbal supplement to help, and there are no chemicals. Uh, but this is focused herbs that do help with how the nervous system runs in the body. Okay, so this obviously can be taken. Top and joy can be taken together. They are complementary, means that uh, uh, they can support each other as it's functioning. And this is also something that you can take on a regular basis. Ease is what I would say can help calm the mind. And this is maybe more of not necessarily your brain, not necessarily your nerves, but this is how your mind operates. So it is ease has a number of unique herbs in it as well. It is This one is a little bit different than Top and Joy in that when you take ease, you could probably feel it within a matter of 15 minutes. You'll automatically you much feel much calmer, unless you're already a calm person. Um, but for me, when I take ease, ease is sort of like my meditation in a bottle. If I don't have time to do meditation, ease is almost as good. Not it's pretty good. And you just take a few capsules and you'll automatically feel less stressed. This can also help if you need to be calm before sleep. Um, so it doesn't necessarily make you sleepy, but if you are somebody that rides on anxiety, it definitely can take that out. Um, it is very interesting that depression and anxiety, you think depression and anxiety are opposites, but very frequently, people who are depressed experience intense anxiety as well. So ease is fantastic to help you stay calm. It's great, especially today when people are being asked to do things that they may not want to do. I understand there's sense of inner conflict that people are experiencing today. Having some ease to help clear that mind is a good thing. And I definitely recommend ease. One of my favorite products. I know that my wife, she 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 gives ease to all of her friends all of the time, uh, because and they love it. And she, whenever they ask like, "What product do you recommend?" Automatically, here, take this. You'll thank me for it. So ease and joy are actually her favorite ones, and so she takes that as her um, it is her homeschool her homeschool formula, because she is homeschooling our four kids. I have five, but four of them are in school, and she's wrestling with the 2 year old at the same time. So it's important for her to stay calm, especially dealing with the kids. Now, top focus is different than top join ease. Now, the reason why we wanted to create Top Focus is that top joinees are good, almost on like a daily basis, where you take it on a regular basis to help nourish your mind. Um, top Old top, you won't be able to necessarily feel it immediately, but it does nourish the brain. Top Focus is for when you need your brain to be on its best. What it does is it can help attenuate, not attenuate, it can help promote certain neurotransmitters in the brain that help with uh, mental clarity and mental focus. So one of the things that works really well for it is that it uh, helps with memory. This is probably the area that people struggle with the most, especially when they're under a lot of stress, is they forget frequently. I hear that a lot with people saying, "Oh, I've got mom's brain," because they're trying to remember all of these things and juggle it in the air, and it's very difficult. So we create Top Focus. You can feel it within about 15 minutes. It is a different formula than Top Joy or Ease. Um, this is for when you need to be at your best. What I sort of imagined is, for me, one of the struggles I had when I was in medical school, and just in general, is that my mind needed to be functioning all the time, no matter what time it was. If it was 2 a.m. or 5 p.m., my mind needed to be there. So um, a lot of other medical doctors would look for different herbs, look for different vitamins, different types of things to help make sure their mind is at their peak. So when they're talking, they feel that they're sharp, they're able to communicate well. For me, I have been researching this for years, trying to bring together the best different supplements, best natural herbs, minerals, amino acids, even vitamins, that do help make your mind operate at its best. So I take two top every morning. It helps my mind to get moving faster. And also, if I am going to do something like do a Zoom call or be online, or I have an interview or have to see a lot of patients, I may take an extra one right before. Like right before I came online today, I took one extra top to help my mind uh, act and move quicker. So you can take one to two top. Sometimes, especially if I've been wrangling children and I need to be more awake, I may even take a third just to make sure I'm with it. These are things that we call in the medical world is called something called a nootropic. So these are nootropics are supplements to help influence how your brain works. So top focus doesn't need to be used in conjunction with top joint ease. It's its own thing, and it's just there to help boost your mind and top and to make it function better. Um, it also is the reason why these things were used is that memory, um, I think, is one of the essential aspects um, of what makes you. And even though your brain may work better, if you can't remember things, then then you're losing a piece of yourself. So memory is one of the things that we really focused on when we created Top Focus, is we wanted it to boost your memory. And a lot of people will say like they remember things that they haven't remembered in a long time, so, or they're able to keep the memories alive. So I gave this to my sister Wendy, and she is a notorious note taker. And she said when she was taking it, she didn't have to write any notes because she could remember everything that she needed to do that day. So it's a fantastic product. Um, there's no it's not no caffeine. There's no stimulants in it, obviously, uh, but it does help nurse the brain specifically to help with memory. So yeah, and I saw a question just a second ago. Clarification. Ellen is asking if I take two top every morning and then an extra. What do you mean two top focus? You said top. I apologize. So what I do is I take two top focus every morning. And if I need an extra boost, maybe later on, especially like in the afternoon when my brain really, really starts to slow down, then I take another top focus in the afternoon. Um, Sunny, my sister, she takes two top focus and five meta booster in the afternoon because that is where the brain slows down the most. So, um, all right, thank you, Margie. Yeah, these things are super needed right now. So again, I'll go over this real quick again. Top helps to nourish the brain. Joy is great for the nervous system. Ease is good for the mind. Okay, mind and spirit are very similar. And then top focus is for the memories. It's for you to be able to hold on to those memories that do slip away when you're under a lot of stress. If you're under so much stress, and I know a lot of us have had that experience where you're just fiddling through things and you're just like, what is that thing? What is that thing? Top focus can help you hold on to that knowledge. And so you don't have to stress out as much. What I like about top focus is it makes me feel like a better version of me. So, um, anyways, and this Zulma is asking, would this work for competitive sports? Yes, very much so. I take it for, I did take it when I was training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a lot, but it does help your mind to think also a little bit faster. What is the youngest age taking top focus, top joint ease? I usually reserve it for teenagers. So a 14-year-old can definitely take top focus. I'll be honest, with the homeschooling, my kids have been sort of driving me crazy because they have been so unfocused. And so I gave my son, my oldest son, who's 10, to Top Focus, and he was able to complete his assignments. He told me the funniest thing is he said, I didn't feel anything. I'm like, well, you clearly changed something because you have not finished any of your assignments for the entire week and you just finished them today. He's like, I don't know. So he was able to finish that. And that was great. And so we, because of that, my wife has been giving my son Top Focus every day so he can get his assignments done at home. Okay. So should it be taken with food or an empty stomach? It can be taken with food. I usually take it with food. Can it help with ADHD patients? You can try it. I don't know. Everybody's a little bit different. My son is ADD, so it does help him. So everybody is going to be a little bit different. This helps somebody who's had a mini stroke and is diabetic on insulin. That is a very, very complicated question. I would say talk with your physician, especially if they're concerned with them taking any kind of supplements. I would always confer with the physician first if the person appears, what I would say, fragile. So shouldn't have any problems with that. But if there are concerns, I would take any of these supplements. If there's any concern, if it's going to interact with medications or things that they're already taking, I would consult with the physician first just to make sure, because there are some supplements that may interact with medications. Okay. Can a breastfeeding mom take any of these? I always get asked this question. I would. Okay. Breastfeeding mom, I probably, uh, I don't know. I probably would avoid the top joint ease. You can take top focus when you're breastfeeding. I know that that is a weird one because there's been some study that shows that some of the amino acids and vitamins that are inside top focus may help with developing baby brains. But to be honest, if I probably would just avoid these during the breastfeeding time overall because it does change the brain a little bit. And I would if there was a product that I would take during breastfeeding and you want to have the best nourishment, I would probably say it would be the Sunfit Protein Plus because you have additional protein and you have the new plus in there, and that is if you're going to if you I know there are breastfeeding moms out there. If there is a product that I would more than recommend for somebody who is pregnant or breastfeeding, it would be Sunfit Protein Plus. Um, that would be it. If they have to stop everything and they may need to, I would just say accept Sunfit Protein Plus. Stay on that. That would be my recommendation. Um, so all right, let me get to the end here. How many top and E's do I typically take? Um, I used to take more. My wife noticed that I take too much ease and I was a little bit too relaxed. So I would say I probably take like two of each. So enjoy. That would be two top jointies. For These are very specific questions for teenagers. I would just say for teenagers, talk with your doctor, especially if they have some kind of learning disability, and you can try some of these products to see if it'll help. But every child is different, and the reason why I say that is that one of the reasons why, and I know that, and they're saying a lot of these. Uh, a lot of medical doctors are unfamiliar with some of these herbal supplements, and it's true, but they are familiar with certain ingredients, and so especially if it has to deal with specific diseases that they are familiar with. Um, I don't know if a naturopath would be any better. So just the reason why I say ask the doctor is we just don't want there to be any complications. Now, if the doctor says no complications, you can try it and see how it works, and then you can see how it works. But I always refer to, because I'm a medical doctor, and I do have some patients, maybe because I'm open to this, they ask me a lot of these questions, like, should I take this or that? And I've had at times to tell patients like that would, for your set of symptoms, would be ill-advised for you to take that. More often than not, I'm okay with it as long as it doesn't harm the patient. But um, you know, sometimes there are some things I'm like, you shouldn't take that. I mean, a very simple thing. I do regenerative therapies using blood platelets into certain joints, and I'll usually tell people no ibuprofen during that time. But then a lot of people take different supplements, so like turmeric or white willow bark. I usually tell people to avoid those as well. And those are really similar ones during a very short period of time, about 2 to 4 weeks after I do those injections. So that is an example of sometimes um, most doctors today are have heard some things about certain supplements. So if not, I would find another doctor. So okay. And as we are getting this, I wanted to talk about a flash sale. There's a flash sale going on. I guess it is starting tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you buy one Ease and one Joy, you'll get a free Top Focus. Dang. How come? If you buy one Ease and one Joy, you'll also get, or you can get one Ease and one Joy and you get 50% off of Top. So if you have not tried these products, I mean, it's your time to do it. It is a flash sale. This is for Canada. I'm sorry. So this is US. One Ease and one Joy, and you get a Top Focus, and this is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In Canada, you buy one Ease and one Joy, and you'll get a 50% off Top. So this is going on. It's a 12-hour sale. So um, and those of you who know Sunrider, we don't do these type of sales very often. So I would encourage you, if you have not tried these products, um, that I would definitely check it out. So all right, let me see if I can answer another question here. What constitutes the difference? Um, I'm not sure, Valerie, what you mean by that. Maybe I missed a question earlier. So, anyways, the most important thing about again uh, these products is they do help. I would just, instead of focusing so much on people who've had maybe strokes or other problems, is try them on yourself, see how you feel. And if there are friends that are going through a tough time, these are not medications. Again, these are things that can help enhance your mood and help enhance how you feel. And that is what's important, and that's what we use these products for. So a flyer that we can test out concerning the sale. I don't know. This is a flash sale. So what I mean by flash sale is that I think um, you guys are hearing it because you are here. Um, because you're here listening to me talk, you're the ones that get to hear this. I don't know if it's going to be advertised anywhere. So tell your entire group. I mean, you guys are having a very very specific special sale, so I would check it out. Um, so oh, here we go. So what Sunrider products are considered foods and which are supplements and what constitutes the difference? That is a good question. Oh, we just got Magali is saying that she just got an email. So it did get emailed out. So hopefully that got emailed out to everybody. But as for Uh, like what it, as for the difference between a supplement and food, I would say food and supplement, it's tough. I guess it sort of depends on who you are. Um, I mean, I would say like Sunfit Protein Plus is food to me, but to other people may be considered a supplement. And I think people just think of food as like, I don't know, broccoli or something like that. But if you make concentrated garlic tablets, even though garlic is food, people will consider that a supplement. Or fish oil, which is from a fish and it's food, but people will say that's a supplement. So, good question. Um, I know maybe I use that interchangeably. To be honest, these are all probably, I probably should state that these are all herbal foods. And that's how really it works. So um, they're not cures, they're not medicine. They are designed to help nourish the body, and that's what it's designed to do. So I apologize if I made that confusing there. Sometimes I don't know when I say it because that's just what things that we say. Does joy help with bones and joints? I am going to bring on, um, let's see. Let me stop sharing. Oh, let's see. All right. So, and I have a special person here.
Oh, let me see if I can
Okay,
show
I'm
up
gonna
here.
stop my virtual background here. Okay, here's my wife. So we're talking about top joy and ease.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so about
some of my favorites.
yeah, and we gave top focus to Corbin, and he seemed to do a lot better with his homework.
Well, yeah, he has a really hard time with his writing assignments. So
That's
I
super
don't know
my
if you have
fault.
any like 10, 11-year-old boys, but not, I mean, everybody's different, but some kids like writing and our kids don't. But so you got to push them a little bit, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's a question. Does joy help with bones and joints? I actually was just on a call with my dad, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and that same question got asked them. And I think the word joy and joints got around uh, as like a simple slogan, but and I talked with him again just to clarify, to make sure I wasn't missing something. And looking at the herbs and talking with him about it, he's like, no, and it makes sense. So it's not joy helps with joints. It helps the nervous system. It helps with the nerves. So and that's how joy works in your body. So but it does help with discomfort. Joy was really to make you feel happy. And that's why it's joy, Joi, because you can't write Joy because that is, I guess you can't use that word. So we coined the term Joi for joy. Does that make sense? So basically, it just
Yeah, it
means to
definitely
make you happy.
works. Like
Yeah.
makes you feel happier. So,
Yeah.
for me in the winter months, I mean, not so much here in California, but
Yeah.
definitely where it's darker and maybe colder, the seasonal depression thing. Yeah. So it definitely helps with like, for me, it just helps me feel a little bit better in those winter months.
Mm-hmm.
California also helps, but some days I feel like, some days I just feel a little bit more sad. And so I feel like really helps to kind of boost so that you can, do the things that you need to do. Right?
Yeah. So Katie has been taking Top Focus on a regular basis, and you mentioned that you feel less down, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think they're all related, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe for me, because I'm suddenly homeschooling all these kids and they have a lot of questions. I'm really running back and forth the whole time. I mean, once I got it out of my head that I might get something done.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Dottie here said that she homeschooled 6 boys.
None of them liked handwriting. Just keep at it. Yeah. You know, actually they're getting, that's a whole nother subject, but it is kind of fulfilling that way to see like major improvements in the last couple of months, you know, especially with the kindergartner, because he, you know, learned so much and he started, you know.
I know. They're asking
reading, and now he reads pretty well.
Asking him to write persuasive essays. He's kindergarten. He can barely read. I mean, he can read, but not super great.
I mean, he just turned 6. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's pretty frustrating at times, and it's definitely helped, you know, knowing that there's something that can help you.
Yeah.
Because because just in our situation, you know, lots of things are out, things that, you know, might have been your stress reliever, like a spa night. I mean, you can do it at home, or friends over. I mean, all those things that could have helped, you know, or even for some people, you know, like the beach was closed here for a long while. Yeah. So it's nice to know that there's something that can help, especially when lots of things are closed and lots of avenues are you know, dead ends right now.
So Jamie's saying, that's why we are doing these meetings to help with educating. I know that sometimes there may be some confusion, and that is something that we want to help with. That is one of the reasons why we have those product fact sheets, so you can check them out to do some of your own education. I know that we're updating them, so some of the product fact sheets already have like nutritional profiles on there, along with our product label on them. Our selling system products have that on there, so those are being updated. So and so hopefully we'll continue to have much more information to help get some clarity. Thanks, Ellen, for being on, for nice responses. And how much do I give my 6-year-old? Oh, Diane's asking how much we give our 6-year-old. I think we were talking about Top Focus, right?
Well, I mean, really, their 6-year-olds are not very big.
Yeah.
So I won't give them. Our 6-year-old can swallow capsules, which not every 6-year-old can. Our 8-year-old has a hard time swallowing capsules.
Yeah.
So yes,
I think we gave him 1 Top Focus.
You know, I mean, I have to admit, one time I was really frustrated and gave him 2, and
he was okay.
fine. I don't know if you should regularly do that, just because, I mean, it's kind of a lot for a little kid, but he also has some attention issues. So he was able to focus and write his 3 or 4 sentences, and we got it done.
So Valerie says, have any of the benefits been downgraded to comply with the government standards? No. So if you are in a country, and this is very well known, I mean, a good example is our Sunbreeze. I mean, we don't change no. So it doesn't get downgraded. And that is our conflict with some of our products going into different places, is that they do want us to conform. It can be difficult. So it is difficult. Sometimes we do have to change one ingredient here and there overall, though, in other countries, but we try to resist it. So Ellen's saying that she's been Sunrider for 32 years. Info on Joy. Joy was new. We'd always thought it was for joints. Yeah, I understand that. I actually talked with my mom about that. My mom was like, oh, yeah, that was it.
You know, I think one problem is that all of these things are so interconnected. Like how your nervous system, your brain, your mood. Like, have you noticed that when you're in a good mood, usually you don't hurt as much?
Yeah.
I mean, so just all those things, you feel more active and alive, energetic. And so I think they kind of all work together. I mean, the thing about yeah, about joy is that, I mean, maybe it's helped people in their joints too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I could get into like a whole, we want to get into.
Well, I mean, you can get into the science.
There's a science reason for how it works, but yeah, I mean, I can understand the confusion, and then I do apologize. My English is my parents' second language, so sometimes, and I do talk about this with my dad to get clarification. Sometimes he'll say things and he will not recognize that it's not coming across quite so clear. So Bob Oakes is stating sports caps works great for joints, and it does. It's very good for joints as well. And so, yeah, that it does sort of interrelate. But do we just give top focus to the kids? We actually right now have only been doing the top focus for our children.
Yeah, we've done some other tests on them. So, I mean, some of them are a little bit too relaxed in one way and a little bit hyper-focused in another part of their brain. And so,
yeah.
So relaxing them, yes. Right now with homeschool, I think top focus is the best for them.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, like Alpha 20C and Conco and, you know.
I think it's going to depend.
Our son loves protein, Sunfit Protein Plus. That's his favorite. Vanilla, he just calls it vanilla shake. Vanilla shake.
Vanilla shake. So Donna is saying, yeah, the nervous system does communicate with the muscles and the joints. So that there is a, I mean, if I go into the science, I've gone into the science before on this. It's a little bit confusing. So, but yeah, just to know that the nervous system, the signals that come from your bones and joints go into your brain. And definitely in your brain is all interactive. I mean, there are some medications also that do influence in those areas as well. But they have not the best side effects. So
yeah, the good thing about these is I don't think they have any side effects, of course.
Well,
yeah. I mean, other than I think he mentioned it. He took one time he took so much. I guess he took too much ease. Kind of late at night. He usually goes to bed at like 10, and it was like 8 o'clock. The kids were still running around, and he's like all snuggly in his bed. I'm like, what's going on here? You can't do this. You have to help out with bedtime.
I know. Okay. That was my idea. Was I just wanted to see if I could be super relaxed all day. So I took 5 E's 3 times a day, and that was I did it for like just 2 days, but Kitty got really upset because I was getting so relaxed. It was like 7:30. I just sort of lying on the bed.
I'm not relaxed. I'm like, we got to get this done.
Yeah.
We got homework to finish.
Yeah.
We have like teeth to brush. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you have a son that gets nervous on timed tests. For me, I think top focus would probably be best. But
you're a little bit biased.
I'm super biased because I designed top focus for myself, because I do have a learning disability. So I have that, I definitely have that bias. So I would say, again, these are all sort of very individual, to try them out.
Oh yeah, ease might help too.
Ease might help too. I think ease helps my dad more than the top focus. So he is a very adamant ease user. Although I think my mom would prefer him to take top focus because
so it makes him feel better, but
yeah, I mean, he feels better about things, but my mom wants him to remember certain things, and my mom does not need top focus. She remembers everything. So she likes taking top focus though, and I think she should probably take more ease. Whereas my dad likes taking ease, but I think my mom wants him to take more top focus. There you are. So works, whatever.
Yeah, try to see what works for you.
See what works better for you.
Yeah, and I think Reuben mentioned he takes top in the morning, especially back when we got to do martial arts.
The top focus.
Yes, the top focus, sorry.
Yeah.
In the morning, but yeah, I think a lot of people like me, I feel very sleepy in the afternoon every day of my life. And so
All right. Any other questions? Are there some pain issues related to nervous system which joy could help? Yeah. So, how do I explain this? So there is something called the gate theory of pain. So it depends on how your nerves transmit information up into your brain. But when you have too much information flooding up, there may be some kind of issue with how the nerves are functioning, or you have some kink in your neck or something like that. That will cause a buildup, and that can be a cause of pain. So what joy can help is just help smooth that transmission of signals to the nerves into your brain. And so that, because if your brain gets a buildup in the gate theory, what ends up happening is your brain will process the information that is overloading it as pain. And it's not even good pain. A lot of times what I see is that it ends up to be what your brain, when it doesn't understand something, turns it into like static. And static, unfortunately, in your brain usually means pain. So if you can clarify that static, that's how joy works. So
makes sense. Like how anxiety could be pain.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So that's along with that, it helps things to move smoother. That's why people feel happier. So that's, hopefully that made sense. So it gets sort of complex. I actually, to be honest, I love if one day I decide to go through the science of joy is actually fascinating, but it's such an amazing way of how it processes information through the nerves into the brain. It's super, super amazing. But
no, I mean, I think it definitely works.
Yeah, it definitely works. So joy and ease, top joy and ease, and top focus. Again, real quick, I'm gonna recap this. And if you didn't, go check your email. All right. So we have a flash sale. It is going on 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So
Friday.
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
tomorrow already.
For the US, you get an ease and joy, and you get a free top focus. You don't do that very often. So, and in Canada, ease and joy, you get 50% off top. I would do it 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So don't be off on your hours or something like that, or else you may miss out. So Pacific Standard Time, so it'd be like Oregon, California time, or Vancouver time. So hopefully that helps. All right, thanks everyone. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope, again, really exercise keeping that brain and mind as balanced as possible. It's super important. Get your meditation in if you haven't done that today, and try some of these products. If you haven't tried them, tomorrow's a good day to buy a bunch of it. So anyways, I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and I hope everybody does well during this stressful time. Okay, I will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.